I'm gonna get this. All right, hello everyone. Good afternoon. I am Bukola Coker-Wemimo. So I'm doing this video because I want to share something. Of course, evidently, I'm told I should contribute more to the elocution space because I have, some knowledge in that regard. And incidentally or coincidentally, I just taught a class today, and we talked about accents. So here it is. There's someone that I follow dedicatedly, maybe not dedicatedly on the social media. He's someone we all love, Trevor Noah, and he says something instructive about accents. He says accents are not a measurement of intelligence, that accents are a way of speaking other people's language with the rules of ours. And that is very, very deep. Yes, we speak other people's accents. We love to speak like others because it's exotic, it's cool, but the rules of ours referred to in that definition or interpretation is who we are. Our own rules are contained in our identity is contained in those rules. But of course, when you learn to speak other people's accents, you adopt certain principles inherent. That's another matter entirely. And that's the same reason Trevor also says, when you learn to speak other people's accents, you must learn them correctly. You must learn to speak their accents well. Otherwise, you miss the mark. So it's deep. We must not forget who we are. Yes, from my own study, I've realized that our Ghanaian brothers, our South African brothers, Ugandan brothers, Kenyan brothers, they learned the full complement. Maybe not all of it, but they got some of the sounds correctly when our colonialists were with us. So in season and out of season, the Kenyans, the Ghanaians, the South Africans, they would say love, they would say money, they would say bus, but the Nigerians would say boss, money, but we wouldn't beat ourselves up over it. We wouldn't love ourselves any less over it. We won't appreciate ourselves any less over it. We must appreciate the straightforward, unpretentious Nigerian accent. But if you then must learn to speak right, let it be for a loftier purpose, not because you want to become a wannabe or you want to be an American. It's cool to be an American, but because you want to learn to speak right, because you want to be well represented in a formal setting, you'd like to train like some of us do. You want to be a broadcaster, you want to impart knowledge, but you don't forget your roots, where you're from. You don't lose your identity. If you then must speak unpretentiously as a Nigerian, you speak as a Nigerian. You take pride of who you are regardless. That's why I was a bit irked, when the video of the Nigerian guy who appeared on the Steve Harvey show, and the reaction to it, unsettled me, as is typical of other similar issues of the past. People who shared the video threw their heads back and laughed at the guy. Even Steve laughed at the guy, and Steve is supposed to be an African American. I don't think the Nigerian guy misrepresented us in any way. I don't think he disgraced Nigerians in any way. The typical Nigerian accent is straightforward, unpretentious, and it's just what it is. And he said anger. That is what a Nigerian would say, and that is what even an elocutionist, or even those who have learned to speak right in their normal setting, would have said when they didn't have to impress. They were not reading the news, or they were not going for an interview or anything. That is what they would have said. So I think we should just learn to be us and love ourselves the way we are. and that way will be better appreciated. That way will communicate more effectively, and that way will be as natural as possible. There's no other way of saying it. There's no other way of communicating the message. Let's just be real. I guess that's it. So that video is coming up shortly, where you'd see some of my colleagues doing their job, reporting, and you would see somebody else that I encountered online teaching elocution, teaching to speak right. You would learn a thing or two also from that video. Anna, the British English teacher online, said she wanted to learn to be an actress. She was training to be an actress, and that was why she decided to learn the standard British English. For me, it was instructive, because even in some parts of England, they don't speak the standard British English. They make mistakes too. They would say London instead of London. You know, they would say country instead of country. So for me, that was instructive. So while you're learning to speak right, be you, be real. God bless you.